Great news from the heart of great medicine. This year's Expo is just around the corner. And once again, it's all about your health. Healthy kids, healthy eating, and healthy fun. There'll be health screenings, cooking demos, and special guests. Meet A-State coaches, Food Network chef Rory Shapisi, and former St. Louis Cardinal Brian Jordan. The St. Bernard's Medical Group Health and Fitness Expo, April 11th and 12th. It's all about your health, and it's all free.
Sudden cardiac arrest claims the life of an American athlete every 3 days, according to a recent statistic, and that's a very sobering statistic.
One Jonesboro family feels lucky to know that they may have cheated death not once, but 3 times. A valuable screening opportunity happening this weekend could save other lives as well. First, the story of Matthew Jones.
At 17 years old, Matthew Jones is the picture of health, but a hidden heart problem nearly sliced years off his life.
Towards the end of football practice, and I would ran a sprint, and my heart did the same thing where it normally has, where it just beats real fast.
But on and off all his life, Matthew had felt that racing heartbeat. As a child growing up in a very sports-minded family, he was active. He did go to a Little Rock hospital with symptoms once, but they dismissed it.
I remember 5th grade was probably the worst, because I could not see a thing. I was blacked out.
So Matthew learned to control it, or so he thought.
You could actually see his heart beating through his shirt.
His heart never really slowed down after football practice. Left alone, Matthew could have gone into cardiac arrest, but this time he went to the hospital.
It was like a scene from ER. That's the way I describe it. You know, I mean, it was all about Matthew and saving his life.
There are times when he's actually going about 300 times a minute right around over there, where he's actually in atrial fibrillation.
Dr. Nair saw a familiar pattern on Matthew's EKG, Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, or WPW. It happens when someone is born with an extra connection in the heart.
Racked with pain, Matthew's heart was racing, but he had to wait for surgery. The medications that were given to him to try to slow his heart down weren't working, and he had to wait for surgery because he had just eaten dinner, and there was a fear that he might aspirate.
So Matthew's surgery had to wait until morning.
It was like a nightmare, the worst nightmare.
At one point, Dr. Nair had to shock Matthew's heart back into rhythm. He wasn't getting enough oxygen to the brain, his heart beating out of control.
He said, I'm seeing black. I'm seeing black things. I don't want to go away. I want to see my mama again. Where is my mama?
It was urgent. Matthew needed cardiac ablation surgery.
Put in electrical wires up to his heart. We made a tiny, tiny hole between this wall. Went across to the left side. We found out where that extra electrical connection was in the left side. We cauterized it off.
I'm very lucky, blessed.
And so are his brothers and dad. They were tested for WPW and had the same surgery to remove their risk.
I never knew anything, that would affect me or my other 2 sons,
And that's the scary part, the not knowing. What's the key to making sure you don't have this same heart condition? Getting an EKG. This weekend, the EKGs will be part of the student evaluations offered at the Health and Fitness Expo for Craighead County students. The evaluations are funded through a grant money from Boston Scientific's Close the Gap program. Times are listed on your screen for the event. There will be lines, as many school districts will require this of their athletes. But when you think of how this test could save a life, it's worth the wait. And above all, listen to your body, and if you feel like you're having problems, go get it checked out.
We'd rather report this story than the alternative.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, weather-wise,